I can remember one particular time, I lived in East Lansing, Michigan. That's the home of Michigan State University. We would often go to the little Catholic church right down on campus. Now, we weren't going to the Catholic church to attend Mass. What we were actually doing was going to the Catholic church to pick up the bulletins, the church bulletins, because in the church bulletins were 2-for-1 Whopper coupons for Burger King. And so that's how I lived. Because my mother struggled with mental illness, different places that we lived, she simply would not cut on the gas. And if you don't have gas and you need gas to cook, we didn't learn the proper ways to cook. And so that's the first takeaway when it comes to obesity. Many people struggle with obesity simply because of some childhood trauma. And that was the same for me. Because of the transientness, the transient nature of my lifestyle, because of not ever being able to settle down and learn good nutritional habits, again, I just gained a ton of weight. Okay, so to be successful at eliminating obesity, you have to set SMART goals. Now, of course, if you've taken any type of business class or any kind of productivity class, you understand what SMART goals are. They're specific, measurable, I say aggressive, realistic, and time sensitive, okay? So let's start with specific. I had a specific weight loss goal. I want to lose 140 pounds. That was my specific goal. 140 pounds. By the way, they shipped us out to California early. We spent about 10 days in seclusion. When I first landed in California, I was 416 pounds. I'm thinking, okay, I'm trying out for a weight loss show. I got to starve myself. I need to start losing weight right here in the hotel room. So the first day on the ranch, I only weighed 401 pounds because I starved myself every day. And then I get to the ranch and find out that is not how you lose weight. And so, again, specific starts with, how much weight do you want to lose? And for me, 140 pounds. Then it has to be measurable. Measurable. Each and every week, or every 7 to 10 days, we had a weigh-in. And so that meant that every week we were measuring our success. We were trying to figure out, okay, is what I'm doing, is it working? And we worked out very, very intensely. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that later. The next thing we had was our weight loss had to be aggressive. Our goals were aggressive. I tell people, I said, if you want to lose 20 or 30 pounds, I'm not your guy. If you're looking to lose the Olsen twins, come see me. You know what I'm saying? And so here's the thing. Does it take 2 or 3 years to be successful at weight loss? Absolutely not. You can accomplish this in 1 year. You can get all of the weight off in 1 year. And so that's one of the messages you want to take back to your programs. You say, you know what? It is possible to lose a massive amount. It's possible to lose 100 pounds in a year. Now, prior to The Biggest Loser, that was really unheard of outside of bariatric surgery. But I'm here to tell you there's living proof that you can lose a massive amount of weight. Here are a couple of people that have taken my class. That's Chris and Ellen. They took the class, and actually they took it middle of the summer this year. And so they lost 80 pounds combined in just under 6 months by the principles that I'm going to teach you here. And then there's Chris, Carmen, and Steve. They took it spring of this year. They took my class spring of this year. And that's 130 pounds combined in 6 months. And she's saying she's still got another 60 that she wants to knock off. And so I want you to understand you can lose a massive amount of weight. Anyone can by using some of these basic principles. All right, the next thing is, again, is the weight loss that you're trying to lose, is your goal realistic? Is it realistic? That's got to be a serious question that you ask. I have women especially. Women come and say, I want to get back to the weight I was in high school when I could see my clavicle. Huh? That's a woman thing, It really is. And so I'm like, well, how old are you? I'm 50. And how many kids have you had? 3? Okay, and you want to get back to where you were in high school when I could see my clavicle. Okay, honey. That may not be a realistic goal, but my 140, the reason I say my 140 was realistic is because I based it on where I was second year of college. Second year of college, after you pick up that freshman 15, I figured, okay, boom, that's exactly where I want to be. Now, here's the thing. I ended up, again, it was a 9-month period in 2005. I ended up losing that 140 pounds after 7.5 months. And so then it was like, well, what do you do now? Okay, I'm just fine, coasting along here, I'm just doing great. And then NBC calls us right at about 7.5 months, and they said, we've got this prize out there. You were voted off the ranch, so you're not up for the grand prize of $250,000. But we'll give you $100,000 if you come back having lost more weight than any of the other people that were voted off. And so what did I do? I absolutely went out there, and worked out really hard, kicked butt, and ended up winning that $100,000 prize. But I was just happy with my realistic goal of 140 pounds. Then I went on another month and a half and ended up losing another 45. So I tell you all this just to give you some background into the different incentives that are out there. Absolutely, money was an incentive. It wasn't an incentive for me until month 7.5. And actually, since she just walked in, we're going to have Stacy come straight to the front of the room. You can see that's her before picture just a few months ago, and she didn't even know that she was going to be modeling in front of us. Stacy, good to see you. How you doing? How you doing? Doesn't she look great? Good girl. What was your starting weight? Starting weight 221. She can't tell you how much she weighs now because she's got the finale. And so that's right. You got a super secret look. Absolutely. The preview. 3 weeks ago. Excellent. Excellent. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Excellent. And so again, let's get another one. Again, she's local, so make sure you tune in to NBC and take a look. Started off there and has just dropped a massive amount of weight. And so where I was back to the time, the timepiece, it needs to be measurable. So the T in SMART is time sensitive. Again, I had 9 months. After 7.5, NBC calls me, so I got another month to go. In a month and a half, I dropped 45 pounds to win that prize. And so very important, very important. And so these goals, again, when you set goals, they really need to just grip the people that you're working with. So money is an incentive. Although for me, money was not an incentive to go on the show. I wanted to get my health back. I wanted to get my life back. I had accomplished my main goal of getting back to my second year of college weight. And then they said, well, there's money out there. But then they had these other incentives, other goals that were really, really powerful. I can remember one particular time when we were on the ranch. That's my money slide. The one particular time when we were on the ranch, and there was a weigh-in. And you see, every week we would weigh in first thing in the morning. Okay, and there was and weigh-ins are a big deal. We're talking about goals, and your goal is the weekly weigh-in. You've got to do very well, or you can let yourself down and the rest of your team down. I remember one particular case. There was Suzanne. She went to weigh in, and normally, we weigh in and whatever we wore in workout clothes. We take a shower and we pat our hair down because we don't even want a drop of extra water on us. We want that scale to look good. And she decides that she's going to go and weigh in, and she takes off everything down to some, what are they called, pasties or whatever? She weighs in pasties. And so now let me set it up here. You've got a cameraman here, then you've got another person right there who's writing down the number, and she turns around, gets on the scale. She's like 5'6", 205 pounds, and so it's not like, America's Top Model here, and she steps on the scale. It's like, whoo. So here's the thing. A guy finds out about it, gets very upset. The guy's name is Nick Gazy. He gets highly upset. Now, Nick is approximately 5'8". He's like 320. He decides, I'm going to go weigh in with nothing, and he drops everything and gets on the scale. Now, mind you, after that, they banned naked weigh-ins. I think it was something having to do with sight pollution or something. They banned naked weigh-ins. But I want you to understand, goals are very important. And in that setting, that stirred the competitive fire in people, all right? Now, this is another goal. Again, when I was at home, I'm away from everyone. And for those, 5 months when I was trying to reach my goal, those first 5 months, all that was in my mind was that this picture was out there. Okay, I'm 90% naked in front of the entire world. There's no way I'm going back looking like that. Okay, so now what do I do in my class? When I have my class, I make people go home, overweight people, obese people, go home, take pictures in a two-piece. Ladies, I want it in a two-piece. String bikini, I want pictures. Take pictures in a two-piece. Men, take pictures in a Speedo. And then what they do is they seal those pictures in an envelope and they bring them to me. And I promise them, I'm going to put them on the internet in 364 days. You've got 1 year. If I had to go through this, where 90% of I'm exposed here, then you're going to do the same thing. It's amazing what kind of incentive that is to be naked, almost completely naked in front of the whole world. By the way, I always knew that I was going to lose weight. I took that picture like 2 years before Biggest Loser was ever around. Not this one, the one up on the screen. I knew I was going to lose weight. I knew no one would ever believe that I weighed that much. So I took a whole bunch of before pictures. I knew it. And then the last thing I want to tell you about, the last thing, I can remember when I was in seclusion, they asked us, they said, Pete, we want to know, what kind of goal outfit do you see yourself in, once you lose all this weight? Well, how do you see yourself, what do you see yourself wearing? And it was interesting. I knew right away. I knew exactly right away and they were like, well, that's surprising. Typically, only the women know right away what they want to wear. For instance, there was a guy, his name was Mark. He wanted to get back into his bulletproof vest. He was a police officer from San Francisco, and his bulletproof vest only covered one side of it. So he wanted to get back into bulletproof vest. That was his goal outfit. So they asked me, they said, Pete, what do you want to get into? I said, I got it. I know exactly what it is. I said, my favorite movie is The Matrix, and I just want to get in an all-black leather outfit, like Lawrence Fishburne in the movie The Matrix. And I just want to stand outside my house in the summer, and I want this leather jacket to just fly behind me. That's what I want. That's what I want to get into once I lose all the weight. I said, okay, Pete, that's good. What else you got? What else you got? And so I said, I know. I said, there was this movie called Soul Food. And in the beginning of the movie, Soul Food, Samuel walks into this wedding. And he walks in sharp, looking dynamite, in this all-white suit. I said, that's another outfit. Not anything close or anything near, the Matrix outfit, but I'll take that. So, we're in Hollywood, and so I was surprised. The next day they called me, they said, Pete, we've got your outfit. We've got it. It happens to already be in wardrobe. I'm like, really? That's sweet. This is Hollywood. It's sweet. They got my all-leather Matrix outfit. It's just sweet. It's sweet. So then they call us into this large room when we're on film. And they said, this is your goal closet, okay? This is the closet where your clothes are gonna be. And so they had me, they said, Pete, we want you to talk on camera about what it would mean to get back into this outfit. So as I walk closer to this goal outfit, into this closet, I start seeing images not of soul food and a beautiful white suit. I started getting images of Don Johnson in the 80s, And they said, Pete, you're on. I said, whose two-sister suit is that? By the way, two sisters are Polly and Esther. This was the ugliest white suit I'd ever seen. I said, Pete, we need you to pretend like this is your gold outfit. Okay, I understand. It's not reality television. It's scripted television is what it is. And so, obviously, reality television is very, very cheap as well to produce. And so that's why they went with the white suit instead of going with the all-black leather outfit that I wanted. But I made sure the day that I got off the ranch that I went home and I got my all-white outfit. I was going to look sharp, not the all-black, a little bit too expensive. But I got my white suit because I was going to look sharp. Now here's the thing. That picture was taken when I was 318. I didn't realize I probably needed to lose another 100 pounds before I kind of looked okay in it, but I was just happy. I lost 83 pounds in 62 days, and so there's the picture of that suit. And so that's the importance here of setting goals. I have people in the class to set multiple goals. Pick an outfit, either go out and buy it or take a picture of it. Money is an incentive. I give away weekly cash prizes so that people that stand up and have done all their homework, done the exercise and all of that. So any program that involves incentives is going to be solid. It's going to be a rock solid program. You really should have a hard counter. And I got to tell you this story because sometimes all this stuff goes out to me. I can remember one particular time on the ranch, after about 6 weeks in. They have all of this food out there, all of these different types of foods, and they're called temptation foods. And they have these things sitting around all over the house, and I have no idea what they are, And I've been there for about 6 weeks, and we're working out 4 hours a day, each and every day. It's like we're doing an awesome, awesome job, losing weight. And then I come across these colorful little knick-knack thingies, and I'm like, wow, what's that? And I take one, and my knees buckle. I'm like, whoa, what in the world is that? I take another one. And after about 2 or 3, I did all I could do. Help! Mark, where you at? I called for my teammate. I called for Mark to come down. I said, what in the world are these? He goes over, he picks one up. His knees buckle too. He said, that's a Jordan Almond. See, I had never had a Jordan Almond. Those things are chocolate-covered peanut. They're supposed to be famous at weddings and whatever. These things are awesome. There's no modification for a Jordan Almond, okay? So what we had to do was, literally, we had to throw them all in the trash. And we cleaned out everything. Dave, he was over decorating the house, and so he was upset. They have all of this fake stuff there. Some of the stuff, they shellac it with different things, just to make it look good on TV. No, that stuff tastes horrible. We know, we tried. You know what I mean? We tried. But these things were untouched. They were pristine, and they were great. So I dumped them over into the trash. The problem was we dumped them in the trash by the laundry room. And we're on a weight loss show. So I'm going to the laundry room like 3 times a day. And I'm just looking around, anybody looking around,
sneak over, grab a couple of those things. It was so bad. I was like, God, I'm going to get kicked off The Biggest Loser because of a Jordan almond. God help me, what am I going to do? Okay, drastic action. I took liquid Tide and I poured it all over the Jordan almonds, okay? There are some things you cannot modify. And so winners understand you cannot let trigger foods trick you. There are certain foods you just can't play with. You can't have in your house. You can't have them at your car. You can't have them on the job, because eating one means eating them all right? So that's one of the things you got to understand when it comes to